How's everybody doing tonight? I'm gonna give this a few minutes and see how many people jump in. But I get so many questions, and a lot of times I don't know what it is. I get people email me or whatever and say that their questions disappeared. I've never deleted a comment. I try to respond to all of them. So this way, I figure if you got questions, whatever, ask me in a live like this. Um, if you're just commenting on something, just do it normal. If you're actually asking me a question, do it all in capitals. That way I can just glance over here at my computer and tell that it's a question. And I'm going to try and answer it. And hopefully this way I don't miss any comments. I am doing good, Nick. Thank you. So I'm just, like I said, right now I'm just basically giving it time for anybody that's interested in jumping on to jump on. And then, like I said, the whole thing, I don't really have anything to talk about off the top of my head. This is all just Q&A. You know, you guys ask questions and I'll answer them. I don't have any beer, Eric. I don't normally drink too much. But you're all welcome to have a beer while you watch this. It'd probably be more entertaining that way. My problem is once I start drinking beers, I don't like to stop drinking beers. So, Nick, Eric, right now you're the only two I see in the comments. Either one of you guys got any questions on any videos I've done or something you want me to do in the future, anything like that? And Eric, which rifle is that? I've done a bunch of videos with different rifles and drillings and cape guns and stuff like that. Hey Marty, how you doing? Yeah, I like doing the handgun videos and stuff like that too. Hey Jesse, how you doing today? I've got some more stuff in the works. I'm like everybody else right now. You know, the economy sucks. It's expensive to do anything. So, like going out to the range, I can go to a range right down the road and like target shooting that, but I can't do any kind of rapid fire shooting. I can't do any kind of trick shooting. So, I have to drive to go to them places, and it's just been really busy. Hey, Watchhorn, how you doing? If you guys haven't watched that guy is very entertaining. Um, I enjoy his content. Hey, Levi, DB Cooper. I still love that name. Every time I see that name, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and DB Cooper was talked about all the time in the news. Actually, DB, that ram was shot with my open top 44 special. Um, there's actually a bore over here that I shot with a bow, and I finished it off with that same open top 44 special. It's actually, if you go through my videos and look at the Plowboy special, um, don't shoot buffalo boar in the open tops. They won't hold up. They will for a while, but it will tear them up. And I actually had to rebuild that gun. So when I rebuilt it, I went from a 7.5 inch barrel to a 5.5, and then I put some grips on it like Plowboy did, and that kind of made a what I call Plowboy special, a copy of the open top that he had. I actually shot that ram on a hunting trip. It was my son's first hunt trip. It was on a ranch, so it wasn't like going to Texas and shooting hogs and all. But we went to one of these hunting ranches, and my son shot this gigantic hog, and then I shot a 200-pound hog and that ram while we were there. Oh, the loop rifle spinning. I spin that Rossi 92 with the 20-inch barrel. I spin that mare's leg that you guys seen. Um, the 20-inch barrel, even with my long arms, is difficult when you're learning to spin because it's so long that there's no room for error. If it hits you like right here on the arm or on the shoulder, that front sight just gouges you. But the 16-inch barrel or that mare's leg, them are really fun to spin because you don't have to worry about it. The mare's leg is just, I love that gun. It's just, it was expensive, but it was worth every penny. Out of the box, it was just probably the smoothest, nicest gun I own. Just, I love that gun. Hey, Ungrateful Peasant, there's my buddy there. How you been? I'm still waiting for that couple of them videos you were talking about to come out. I haven't seen them. There's another channel that, if you haven't watched, I enjoy watching, Ungrateful Peasant. He's got some pretty good stuff. But like I said, this is just all Q&A. If you guys got any questions. So. Becoming Dangerous is another channel. They're both by the same guy. Ungrateful Peasant, Becoming Dangerous. I enjoy watching both them channels. Mill Creek, another good friend of mine, has a channel. Does way better Western content than I do. Actually, he just did a video on, I think it's a 145-year-old Winchester model 1873. It was a little short, but yeah, he's got some really nice guns. He actually did a nice holster video too. I was kind of jealous because I thought I had a bunch of holsters. Yeah, I am sorry to hear that you're having them back problems, Mill Creek, and like I said, if any of you guys ain't checked him out, check him out. He's having some back problems, so keep him in your prayers. There's a lot of small channels out there that I watch. I watch some of the bigger channels, I like Demolition Ranch and that, but a lot of these smaller channels, I just really like them. Yes, I still watch T Electric. I haven't talked to him in a while. Um, Me and him had talked about meeting at a range sometime and doing some shooting. He is actually in Detroit, and he's always putting out videos of what's going on in Detroit, and that, seeing as how I work in Detroit a lot, I definitely like to keep up on what's going on around there and that. Stuart, I can do that, show the elephant gun. Problem with the reason why I don't do a whole lot of videos with them is some things are so expensive to shoot. Even reloading, they're expensive to shoot. But I actually just loaded up some 458 lot rounds for that bolt action that I built, and I do plan on getting a video out on that, hopefully here soon. Yeah, that's the video I was watching out for, Becoming Dangerous. I haven't seen anything popping out on that 10.5 inch 450 Bushmaster you built. Yeah, I think that one's going to be real fun to shoot with. I don't know if you've got a binary trigger in or what, but that's going to be a lot to hang on to, I think, as far as recoil goes. Because AR-15 is really light anyway, but I'm going to definitely be watching for that video. Yes, Levi, I do carry extra ammo. I carry two speed loaders, 5-shot speed loaders when I carry that 350. Well, because I carry that 350 Magnum snub nose, I carry usually one in my pocket, and then I keep another one in the console of the truck. So if I'm out of the truck, I have one spare reload. If I'm in the truck, I have two spare reloads. Oh, so that one's going to be actual full auto 450 Bushmaster. That's, yeah, I want to see how well you guys hold on to that thing under recoil. Yeah, 10 millimeter, Marty, 10 millimeter is my all-time favorite semi-automatic pistol round. You guys have all seen my Colt Delta Elite clone that I built. I am a huge fan of 10 millimeter. Um, I think on deer-sized animals, two-legged predators, and that, it's as far as semi-automatic cartridges goes, it's my favorite for that stuff. I don't think I would. I mean, if it's all I had, I would take it if I was going to Alaska or something where there was huge bears, but it wouldn't be my first pick. But as far as everyday carry or anything like that, 10 millimeter will do, in my opinion. And when I do these videos, everything's based on my opinion. I am not a authority in anything, but in my opinion, 10 millimeter is one of the best man stopper rounds out there as far as semi-automatic pistol cartridges go that are still manageable. I mean, I know that there's bigger out there, but I just think it's 10 millimeter is like perfect in a small Glock or any kind of small semi-auto. You're not going to go wrong with a 10 millimeter. Well, like I said, I'll be watching for that one, Becoming Dangerous. I'm really excited to see that video. Have I shot a BM59? By BM59, are you talking about it was basically the M1 Grands that they converted to 308 and used the M14 mags? If that's what you're talking about, I actually built one of them years ago on a Century Arms M1 Grand, and it's one of the few guns that I got rid of, and definitely one that I really, really, really regret. So if that's, I'm, I'm getting older. I have Joe Biden moments where I get ate up with the dumbass. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm thinking, and BM59 was the M1 Grands that were converted to 308 and used M14 mags, if I remember right. Eric gave me a thumbs up, so I must have been right on that. Anybody else got any questions or comments? Anything? Sweet shooting rifle. The one I built shot better than I could shoot it, but I've always just been an average shooter. I've never been a competition shooter or anything like that. I played around. A buddy of mine was really, really good at IPSC. I shot behind his house on a range he had built with him. I would not consider myself a competitor or nothing else. I just like to try different things. That's how I got into doing the spin cocking and the triple shot. And just other people did these things. I thought it looked interesting or fun, and I just like to constantly try different things and try and push myself to be better. But by no means am I any kind of professional shooter in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I mean, I've all these mounts behind me, the hog over here, my son's hog. All the taxidermy I did myself. Um, I grew up. We never had a lot of money when I was growing up. Everything, whether it was fixing our house, fixing our cars. Um, when we went out hunting, we cut our own meat. So growing up, I never could afford to pay a taxidermist. So I got books and talked to people that knew how to do that kind of stuff, and just I try and learn. I try and do everything. That's how I got into gun work. My grandfather used to take old Mausers, military Mausers, and put sporter stocks on them and drill and tap them, and that's how I started in gunsmithing. And then from there, I wanted to change calibers, so I just found people that knew how to rebarrel and how to chamber and that, and had them teach me. Sometimes I worked for people for them to teach me. I didn't get paid, I just did work, and then they taught me things. Other times people were just kind enough to spend the time to teach me something new. No, I don't have any top break revolvers at this point in time, Stuart. I would like to eventually someday get a Schofield to add to my Old West gun collection, but I just never. When I was younger, I liked to shoot like 44 mag and stuff like that, and I don't think they make anything like that in top break. I don't think the frames are strong enough. As I've gotten older, I've enjoyed. That's when I really got into 45 Colt, man. You can load 45 Colt up really hot, or like with cowboy loads, you can enjoy shooting more and longer. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get shot with any caliber. Any caliber. I'm glad your cousin survived. Hey, Jessica Messner, how you doing? I'm assuming this is actually Joe, her husband, but it might be her. Yeah, I am doing really good, so I can't complain. I mean, I'm going through the same thing everybody else is going through as far as, the economy sucks. It costs $120 to fill my truck up. Groceries are killing me like everything else, just like everybody else. I don't know how any of you younger people that have kids right now and that are doing it, because it's just me and the tough house, and we don't have all. Eric, I don't usually get political on this channel just because I had a channel at one time with 20,000 plus subs, and it got political and it got taken down. Um, my thoughts on whether people will stand up, I think that, and go here, you couldn't go there, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, and not everybody, but the majority of people did it, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, conservatives by nature are law-abiding citizens. Just, I don't see it happening. And I don't see us, I mean, I'm going to vote this year, even though I wasn't going to, I'm going to vote because my wife asked me to. It's very important to her that I vote. But I don't think we can vote our way out of this. And I just don't think people are going to stand up. I just don't. Hopefully I'm wrong. But you asked, I don't lie. I'll tell you how I think. Thank you, Random Yank. Yes, Jessica and Joe were actually, I think, on my original channel. I think they were within the first 100 subscribers I actually had. They've been following me around for a long time, and they're really good people. I've met both of them in person and hung out with them and that, and they are just really good people. Yeah, becoming dangerous, that really sucks. I know a lot of people have had to sell family heirloom guns and that just to make the rent and that. Fortunately, I'm not in a position where I have to sell anything. I'm just in a position where I can't afford to just go out and buy what I want whenever I want. But I can't complain. The good Lord's blessed me. I'm in a good spot in life, so I just can't complain. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of gun shops because I stop in a lot of them while I'm working and just look around and that. It's not that people don't want to buy guns; people just can't afford to buy guns. I got to figure if they can't ban them, they'll just make them so that they'll just run the economy down so bad that you can't afford to buy guns or ammo. Wrangler, I am doing good. I'm like everybody else, getting by, but like I just said, the good Lord's blessed me. I'm healthy. You know, we're struggling like everybody else around here, but we ain't going hungry, and you can see the lights are still on. I ain't getting no prettier, but I figure that's just the way it goes. So. Is there anything that you guys want to see in upcoming videos? Any of the guns that I've already shown? If there's guns you want to see that I don't have, or you haven't seen me post, put it in the comments, or send me an email. My email's ARAmerican, all lowercase letters. I think it's 1972 at gmail.com. I got buddies that are into Glocks. I got buddies that are into, you name it. I got friends that have Canics and that, so, I prefer the old Western guns. They're just my favorites. But if there's something you want to see and I don't have it, I can always reach out to one of my buddies, meet up with them, and we can do a video and talk about it or whatever. Unfortunately, Wrangler, I can't show guns on a live for whatever reason. If I even just touch a gun on a live video, they will take that video down instantly and give me a strike. I did a live with Maximus Overdrive. He built a Browning Auto 5 Rhodesian Model 8-shot and kind of inspired me to build one. Well, we did a live together to talk about our builds, and he picked it up. Neither one of us knew you couldn't do that, but he picked it up, and within literally 3 seconds, YouTube took the video down and nailed us. Oh yeah, I still have that. It's a copy of Remington 870, that Turkish Hatson Escort that you sold me, Joe. It's actually, that's the one I keep loaded at the house, so when I'm not home, the wife has a shotgun. Yes, my eye healed up. Actually, this eye is better than it's ever been. Thank you. No, Marty, I haven't. I mean, I've seen videos on the Taurus single action. Um, I haven't seen one in a gun shop anywhere around me. It's really hard to find much single action guns around me. Most gun shops don't carry them. They don't seem to. There's not a whole lot of people into that around here, I don't think. No, Becoming Dangerous. I've never had flag me. I've had guns sitting on the table when I was doing a live. It's only if I touch them, move them, stuff like that. But no, if they were hanging on the wall, I've never had them hanging on the wall. I just don't. But I mean, eventually I'd like to put some gun racks underneath the mounts and hang a bunch of them on the wall. But I don't think they'll do that. I reached out and asked them. The only thing they would tell me is you can't handle, hold, or transport guns in live videos. DIY specialist, yeah, everything on the wall I shot, I ate them, and I also did all the taxidermy. I can show black powder guns, but I don't even have any caps or balls. I haven't been able to find much of that stuff around me. Um, so all of mine have been converted to cartridges. But I mean, I've showed them, but I'll show them again. I don't mind. I really enjoy shooting them anyway. So. Yeah, Becoming Dangerous works in a actual gun shop. So if you haven't watched his channel, Becoming Dangerous or The Ungrateful Peasant, he actually does a lot of gun content too. Hey, Turning Guns, how you doing? Yeah, I love Taurus firearms. A lot of people hate them, um, Marty, but I mean, I've got a couple Taurus revolvers, a couple of the PT92 Taurus Beretta clones. I've never ever had a problem with a Taurus, ever. Yes, I do, Wrangler. I have a Super Blackhawk, Lipsy Custom 44 Magnum stainless steel with the Bisley grip, and I think it's a 3.5 or 3 3/4 inch barrel. And yeah, I do need to get that out and shoot that again some more. I have not seen the MC39s, but that's cool. One of these days we'll have to get together and go to the shooting range, and I'll have to check that one out. Yeah, I don't shoot traditional black powder. I know you guys are going to tell me, the guys that shoot black powder, that I'm going to hell for this and it's sacrilegious and that, but I shoot 777. It's a little hotter than regular black powder. I can get more velocity out of it. It just pushes it, not as anywhere as good as smokeless powder, but it pushes it closer. So I shoot a lot of 777. And that, I can I don't have enough money to buy all the 777 that Cabela's has around me. I mean, it's always in stock as much as I want of it. Yeah, I haven't tried to make black powder. It's something that I've been thinking about learning in the future. A good place to buy parts for the Super Blackhawk. Honestly, if you're looking for used parts, probably eBay. I bought it, and I hate to say that, but I bought a lot of parts for a lot of guns off eBay and found stuff that I couldn't find anywhere else. Um, if you're looking for like springs, just buy them brand new. I like Wolf. There's other companies out there, but I use Wolf. There's a lot of aftermarket companies making pretty much any part you could want for the Ruger Blackhawks and Super Blackhawks. And if you email me, I'll try and find you some links and get you going in the right direction if you tell me what you're looking for. Hey, Josie Wales, there's another channel that a subscriber, but he has his own channel that I watch. Give him, a chance sometime. Check him out. He does all kinds of guns. KJ10, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing really good. Yeah, I'll meet you up at T-Rex sometime. Just, we gotta give me a couple weeks so I can move things around and stuff like that, and plan it out a couple weeks, for a couple weeks when we talk, a couple weeks ahead of time. That way I make sure I don't schedule anything. But yeah, we can meet and do some shooting. Yeah, I don't know much about the Beretta clones or whatever that Taurus makes, other than I like them. I've had Berettas, but that was a long time ago in the past, and I know that the safety is on the frame instead of up on the slide like the Beretta, but I don't know all the differences. Numerix has a lot of parts. My problem with Numerix is they don't. I had a bunch of parts I wasn't going to use. I went and sent them to them, and because I bought parts from them, and basically, I mean, they didn't want to give me anything for the parts. I had them send the parts back. I mean, it was insulting the price that they offered me for the parts, and I ended up selling them on eBay, but it was pretty insulting on what they pay for parts. I just think they take advantage of people, but they do have lots and lots of parts. Thank you, Wrangler. Thank you, Josie Wells. I appreciate that. Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate that. Uh, I call my J frame a J frame. It's the exact same size, uses J frame grips, J frame speed loaders. It's actually a Taurus. I don't remember the model off the top of my head. I've been carrying that thing for a lot of years. I have so many guns, I get them mixed up. If I don't, I would have to pick it up right now and look at it and tell you the exact model. My other channel got nuked a year and a half ago, and that's why I separated everything. This is strictly a gun channel. Political stuff goes on the other channel. Not to mention that to be honest with you, I'm just burned out on politics. That's why if you go to the other channel, I go sometimes a couple months without doing a video. I don't want to be angry all the time, and politics makes me angry. I'm sure it makes all of you angry. So the gun channel is something I enjoy doing. It's fun. So I try and keep the two separated. Thank you, Random Yank. Yeah, I've had a couple of Berettas in the past, and during the recession, they like to call it, the housing foreclosure crash and all that, I sold off a lot of my gun collection back then, and trying to save my house that I had back then, and it just didn't work out, and I decided I'd never sell guns again. I mean, I sold them, and all it did was prevent the inevitable. So I don't have any Berettas right now, but eventually someday I'd like to add some more to my collection. There's just other things I want more right now. And 1911s are my favorite semi-automatic pistols. Yeah, the Ruger EC9, I've heard it's got a lot of kick, but I heard it's because it's really light. But I haven't shot one, so I couldn't tell you. Josie Wells, my other channel, is a pissed off American. And that's all, that's my political channel. Yes, Wrangler, well, I own a Remington Model 11 that I extended the tube. I made a custom form and that. Um, Turned it into a Rhodesian A5, which is, the Remington Model 11 was a Remington's exact copy of the Browning Auto 5 for the most part. They actually paid patent rights to build that. It's basically a Browning Auto 5. I just found one that was in really bad shape, rebuilt it, extended the wood, extended the magazine tube, and made a Rhodesian A5 out of it. But my grandfather had a Browning Auto 5. In my opinion, maybe it's just nostalgia or whatever, I think it's one of the great semi-automatic shotguns, and probably, of all the semi-automatic shotguns, my favorite. And I've shot quite a few. Buddies of mine got all kinds of different semi-automatic shotguns. Machiavelli, I can give you some real good advice. Don't move to Michigan unless you like really cold weather in the wintertime. Um, if you like a governor that's pushing for red flag laws and wants to take your guns away, then Michigan would be all right. But if I could talk my wife into moving, I would be getting as far away from Michigan as I could really fast. Um, but she's not going to go because my kids and my grandkids are here and that. So I was born and raised in Michigan, but Michigan's never felt like home to me. I've never been a big fan of the state anyway. I like fishing, and there's plenty of fishing in Michigan, but um, two cities in Michigan are blue, and pretty much they control everything that happens in the state. You know, I'm not a big fan of that. Thank you, Machiavelli. But yeah, I mean, if I had my way, I'd be probably in Kentucky. I got family there, or Tennessee. If I really had my way, which my wife would never do under any circumstances, I would move to Arizona or New Mexico, to the middle of the desert, and live out in the desert. The only thing I want to see is sunshine, sand, and cactus. I don't want to ever see rain or snow again. I'm a lineman. I've been climbing telephone poles for over 30 years in rain and snow and cold, and it's not fun. I actually worked in Texas for almost a month, Wrangler, years and years ago. Um, I would guess right around 30 years ago now. Loved it. Would love to move to Texas, but wife's not doing that. But even Texas, they get hurricanes and stuff like that, and they even get cold weather in the northern part of Texas and that. Um, Not nearly as much we get here in Michigan, but as I get older, the negative 20s and that just, it's no fun. I mean, literally, I am so sick of winters. Like I said, I just want to see sunshine, sand, and cactus. I want to live in the desert. Man, if Michigan's more affordable, Machiavelli, I can't imagine how bad it is in other states because everything's going up so high here in Michigan. I can't imagine it being better than anywhere else right now. That's crazy. Hey Garrett, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, Wrangler. That's why I said if I had my way, I'd be in. You know, I don't mind the heat. For whatever reason, the heat doesn't bother me as long as it's not humid. Humid heat is hard on me. The humidity as I get older and that, but yeah, dry heat, I could do that all day long. When we have dry heat, low humidity here in Michigan, I don't mind 100-degree days. I'm sure all you guys that are watching this channel have heard of 11 Bang Bang. Smoke in the Woods is Garrett's personal channel, so if you like the 11 Bang Bang, go check out Smoke in the Woods, another good friend of mine. Hey Rod, how you doing? I'm actually doing really good. Um, Rod does a lot of the older Damascus barreled shotguns and that. So if you're into that kind of stuff too, there's a channel you can go check out. Rod's Guns, or Rod's Vintage Guns. And Gab, you must have changed your channel name. It used to be different. Yeah, that's what happened to me. My channel was originally A American, like just A American, another American. And I didn't know it when I started the channel, my old channel, that there was an author named A American, and that the name was actually trademarked. And people kept asking me if I was the author, and I'm like, no, no, no. Well, then I actually ran across the author on X, Twitter, whatever it is, and talked to him, and he was really cool about it. But he was like, "Hey man, you may get a letter from my editors and that because they trademarked that name. You may have to change it." And like I said, the guy was really cool. He didn't tell me I had to or nothing else. He just said that his publishers and the editors and that may come at me about changing the name because it's copyrighted. So I just took it upon myself to change it to AR American because it was close to A American, and the very first video I ever did was AR or AK, which one I preferred better. So it just kind of all fit. It really doesn't for the kind of content I do now. It doesn't. The name doesn't, I guess, necessarily fit that well, but you know, it is what it is. Cab Ragoon, I've got some things in the works, nothing definite yet. Um, Waiting to hear back on some things. I am going to do a video hopefully here pretty soon on my 458 lot. I've done a few videos on it, but it was just showing it, talking about it. That's the bolt action elephant gun I built. I actually want to do a shooting video with it. Um, I want to do just some more, Western style videos. I love doing, I grew up, it's, I guess, nostalgia for me, but I grew up watching old Western movies. So them were just, I don't know, since I was just a little bitty kid, I've just always, I love all guns. I have all kinds of guns, but them have just always been my favorites. Um, I do I've had a couple people ask me to do a video on my Uzi, and some people ask if I do an AR video, so I may be doing that in the future, not sure. And just kind of ideas. Like I said, I'm in the same boat as everybody else, ammo's expensive than that. And that's why I do it a lot of the Western stuff, is that black powder is easy to find. I can't, still, even right now, it's really hard to find gunpowder. And when you do, it's so expensive that it's just cheaper and easier for me to do black powder. Well, black powder works good in revolvers, but it doesn't seem to run very well in any kind of semi-automatics. So that's kind of why, it just, I don't know. Revolver videos are easy to do right now in this economy and with all the shortages and that. I will be doing a video on the 458 lot here soon. I didn't have any horses when I was a kid, Marty, but I played cowboys and Indians when I was a kid, and I'm still dressing up and playing them today. I've had friends that have horses. I actually, when it cools down more in the fall, I want to get a hold of my friend Dawn that owns Double D Ranch to let me use her horse for the Henry video. And I just want to do some horseback riding. I'll probably do a video while we're out horseback riding, and probably use some of it for a new intro in the fall. I'm still trying to find somebody that has a horse that isn't gun shy, that won't spook, that I can do the triple shot off of and some spin cocking. I would actually like to maybe find somebody that does the mounted shooting. And I mean, I'll go to their place, use their horse on their property. I'll even pay them, I would like to, how they ride through the arena and shoot the balloons. I'd like to do that with my Henry's mare leg off a horseback, shoot some balloons. I'd like to do a triple shot. Not that I would hit balloons doing a triple shot off a moving horse, but I would like to do the triple shot off a horse. So, but it's just, that's all dependent on if I can find a horse that isn't gun shy, that, will let me do shooting off its back with blanks. Yes, Josie Wales, I only use 777 because that's everywhere around me. I can find that all the time. Plus, everything black powder did a video. Actually, he did it as a, because I requested it, which made me feel really good. But he shot the Plowboy load 40 grains of black powder, but he used 777 because I don't have a way of measuring the velocity. I don't have a chronograph. So he actually did it and found that with 40 grains of 777, 45 Colt, 255 grain cast bullet, out of a 4 3/4 inch barrel, was moving at right around 1,000 feet per second. I mean, that's going to do anything you need it to do. And in a time when powder is almost impossible to find and 777s everywhere, it's a good alternative. I think it runs 20% hotter than regular black powder, but the pressures are still way lower than what smokeless powder is. And I honestly, I just got into black powder during COVID when all the powder shortages and all that came. I couldn't find any kind of powder, and I was watching a Plowboy video, and that's we all call it the Plowboy load, although he didn't invent it. That's where a lot of us learned about the 40 grains of black powder and a 45 cold. Um, so, like I said, 777 was available everywhere, and that's how I got into black powder, and I like it. The only bad thing about black powder or black powder substitutes is the cleanup so that the guns don't rust. But other than that, I mean, it's a lot of fun to shoot. I like the smoke and all that. I haven't seen a can of Pyrodex around me in a long time. 777, and I don't remember what the other one is. There's two of them that seem to be just everywhere around me, but like actual black powder like Swiss or anything like that, I've never seen it. But I didn't really look for black powder until COVID hit, but I haven't seen any real black powder around me ever that I can remember. I mean, I'm sure it was before COVID, but I've just, it's never around. I think when it comes in, it's probably just like regular smokeless powder. Probably people are buying it up as fast as it's coming in. For whatever reason, I can find 777 all the time, so that's just what I run. Yeah, the 777 I think runs like 36 or $38. I think it's a 1 pound can. I mean, it's not cheap by any means, but I can shoot and have fun, so. So, has anybody else got any other questions or anything? I'm going to probably cut this off here in about 5 to 10 minutes if ain't nobody got no questions. Um, I don't know what time it is where you guys are at, but it's almost 9 o'clock here, so. It probably wouldn't be worth the cost of shipping it because, like black powder, um, I've had people, offer to send it to me before, but the shipping on it, because it's considered a hazardous material, was so expensive it just wasn't worth it. I appreciate it though becoming dangerous. Right now I'm sitting on like probably 10 cans of 777, so I got plenty of that. Thank you, Random Yank. You have a good night, bud. I'm going to try and do these lives like once a month where you guys can, it's going to be a Q&A where you guys can ask me questions and I'll try and answer them. Or you can tell me, videos you might want to see, whatever. Um, I know you guys send comments in the videos, and I try to answer every comment. But people tell me that their comments are being removed. It's not me. I don't remove comments. If you go through the comments and look, I mean, I've had people call me ugly in the comments, old. I believe in freedom of speech. As long as they're not being just vulgar or belligerent, I don't care. I laugh. I mean, I don't think there's anything they're going to say in the comments that is going to hurt my feelings. I mean, like I said, I just, as long as it's not vulgar and profane and stuff like that, I try not to swear in the videos and stuff. There's women and children that do watch this sometimes, and I don't know. I try not to do that. But that's why I wanted to do this live Q&A, is I have people all the time say that their comment disappeared or whatever. So this way, hopefully, I can not miss any comments. Like I said, I try to respond to every comment, even if it's just a heart and a thumbs up. I try to respond to every comment, but I'm sure I missed some. So I figured this way, hopefully, we can eliminate that from happening. Thank you, Mill Creek. I appreciate that coming from you. I think you do way better video quality than I do, but I really appreciate the kind words. Thank you, Josie Wales. And you know, when I first started out with my old channel before it took off, and even this channel's small, but you know, people have helped my channel to grow and given me shout outs. I try and return the favor. If there's a channel I watch and it's a small channel, I'll mention it. Hopefully people will check it out. I mean, I watch car channels too, but it's not really gun related. I figure most people coming to this channel are coming for gun related content. So that's why normally I just shout out gun channels. Well, Mill Creek, I think you pretty well got it figured out. I mean, you're up there with, in my opinion, you're up there with Plowboy, with 11 Bang Bang. Not enough people have found you yet. You do really good content. Thank you, Becoming Dangerous. I really appreciate it. If you guys are into the prepping and that, I used to do some prepping videos, but I'm not a master prepper or nothing else. I mean, I could only beat the same horse so long before you guys get bored with it. But if you're into the prepping and preparedness type videos and that, Becoming Dangerous also does some stuff like that. That's another good one to check out. He does all kinds of stuff, gun content, political content, prepping content. So if that's the kind of stuff you're into, more than just guns, go check him out. Garrett, you don't gotta thank me, man. When my old channel got took down, it was funny. When I had 20,000 plus subs, I had people all the time invite me on their channels. They were smaller channels and that, wanted me to do lives with them and that. And then when my channel got took down, never heard from any of them again. When I started my new channel, honestly, T Electric, his style of videos and mine are not anything alike. But he's a good man. He shouted out my new channel, told everybody where to find me. 11 Bang Bang, Plowboy, Wild Snapper, and I have these Joe Biden moments when I can't remember everything I want to remember, but there was a handful of channels that let everybody know that I had started a new channel and that. And because people help me out, I try and help people out, but it was very cool that even though some people forgot all about me, I no longer could help them anymore. They didn't want to waste their time. There was a lot of channels out there that made it a point to try and help me get back to where I was and are still helping me. So I'm just trying to return the favor. You know, Random Yank, I don't know. I don't understand the algorithms and none of that. Um, it's crazy. I did that one video. Yes, I admit it. I carry a revolver for EDC. I mean, in the first day, that thing was at like 10,000 views. I think it's up to 15,000 now. And I've had other videos that in that video I didn't think was going to do that good. You know, I mean, it was just, I mean, it was an okay video, but I didn't think it was like all that. And it did really good. And there's other videos I've done that I thought, man, this should really be a good video. This should draw a lot of views. And you know, a month later, it ain't even hit 1,000 views yet. So, I mean, I can't give people advice on how to do this channel stuff because I don't even understand it. I just do what I do. I have fun. When you're having fun, it's enjoyable. You want to do it. The views and all that really don't matter because you're just having fun. So for me, if a video does great, like some of them do, then that's great. And if they don't do that good, honestly, I mean, it's not gonna, I don't know, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because the only reason I'm doing it is because I enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's a hobby, you know? I didn't know you had a channel, Marty. I will have to try and check that out when I get a chance. I don't stare off into the abyss. Well, that's probably just because I'm old and I can't see no more. Hey, Squeaky Cooler, how you doing? I haven't seen you seen you in the comments for a while. It's good to see you here, though. Marty, my email is aramerican1972@gmail.com, all lowercase. Send me a link to your channel. I'll go check it out. .38 Super. I've always wanted a 1911 in that caliber. Everybody tells me it's like a 9mm on steroids. Yeah, becoming dangerous. You got to have one channel that, if you're going to have a political channel, you got to have another one that's not political because it's only a matter of time. If you go political, if you don't follow the narrative, they will take it down. Hey, I get that, Squeaky Cooler. Nothing I'm doing is that important where anybody needs to stop what they're doing or drop what they're doing to watch my videos. Watch them if you got time. If not, I'm not losing any sleep over it. You know, like I said, for me, this is just a hobby. I'm not going to make a living off of this. I'm not going to be the next Demolition Ranch or AK guy or nothing like that. I just enjoy reading your guys' comments. And I enjoy doing the videos, and that's why I do this stuff. That's what it's all about, just having fun. If I think everybody that starts one of these channels would love to be the next Demolition Ranch or AK guy or Kentucky Ballistics. I mean, anybody that says that they don't want that, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that don't, but I'm pretty sure most of us would love to be a big channel like that. But when you become big like that, and this is just my thoughts, I've never been anywhere near as big as any of them guys. It probably becomes way more work than it is fun. And once it's no longer fun, usually I lose interest in it and I don't do it no more. So, it just, and with the rules on YouTube, the way they change the rules with the gun content all the time, I would never want to base my living off of YouTube because they could take it away from me at any time. I mean, if I make a couple bucks on it and I can afford to buy a gun to do a review on or something, great. But I don't want to have to worry about what I can or can't say or can or can't do. There's channels that call guns pew pews and they call bullets freedom seats and that. I don't make my living off YouTube. I'm never going to call a gun a pew pew. Sorry, just ain't going to happen. It's a gun, it's a rifle, it's a handgun, it's a pistol, it's a revolver, whatever. But I just refuse to call guns pew pews or call ammunition freedom seeds. It's a bullet. It's a round. It's a cartridge. And because I know that at some point they're not going to like people talking that way, I'll never base my standard of living, my future, or anything else off of something that I feel like I can't say what I want when I want. If I can't say the word gun, firearm, revolver, pistol, shotgun, rifle, magazine, bullet, round, ammunition, sooner or later I'm going to slip up and say it. So at some point, if I'm going to slip up and say it, they're going to take the video down or whatever, or demonetize it or whatever. I just can't base my well-being, my future, or anything else off of that. And that's why I'm just not, I just want to keep this as fun. I do this for fun. That's it. I'm not going to, there's just some lines I will not cross. I am not going to cross that line and feel like I have to refer to things as freedom seeds, pew pews, and stuff like that because I'm worried I might lose money. To me, my freedom of speech is worth more than any amount of money I'm ever going to make on YouTube. And it's just where I'm at with it. And I'm not even complaining. Don't take it that way. I mean, this is their platform. This is their rodeo, their rules. I'm just riding in it. If it gets to a point where you don't like the rules, you got to find another rodeo. But the problem is ain't nobody else. I've had a Rumble account for probably 2 years. The videos don't get no views. Everybody said go to Rumble when before my old channel got taken down. At one point I had over 22,000 subscribers on that channel, or we did. It's not, without the subscribers there is no channel. So we had over 22,000 subscribers and less than 500 went to Rumble. It just doesn't, there's no sense in me putting videos up on Rumble. I mean, yeah, I do it for fun, but if nobody's going to see it, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to put it on there. Yeah, I don't worry about it, Squeaky Cooler. I mean, I try to follow their rules the best I can, because like I said, it's their rodeo, their rules. You don't like it, don't ride in it. But I mean, there's just a limit on how far I'm willing to go, and I'm just not gonna. I may joke around or something call a gun a smoke wagon or something like that, but a gun is a gun. Um, there, I've watched 2A channels where they talk about guns, but they've never actually even shown a gun. And then I'd asked in the comments, how come you never show guns? You're a 2A channel. They call it pew pews and this and that. And they're like, well, if I show an actual gun, they'll demonetize the video. Well, that's fine, but I can't watch a 2A channel that doesn't show guns because they're worried about getting demonetized. I mean, the whole thing with having a 2A channel is to try and share this hobby I have with you. Uh, People, I get comments, people, how do you spin cock it? So I do a video trying to explain it or whatever. I mean, I do this because it's fun, but I also want to help other people to either learn about something they don't know, learn how to do something they don't know. And I mean, I'm only willing to go so far before I'm not willing to show you a picture on a screen of a gun and talk about a gun, but never actually show you the gun. I'm not willing to call a gun a pew pew. I mean, these are just things I won't do. I'm not going to do it. I'll stop doing videos before I do that. Don't worry about it, Washburn. It's not that big of a deal. You ain't got to apologize to me for nothing, buddy. I don't catch every single live that, and some of these channels that I watch are my personal friends, like 11 Bang Bang. I miss some of their lives, man. People have lives outside of YouTube and that, and so if you miss one of my videos, don't feel bad about it. Don't take away your time with your kids, your wives, your family, your friends, and stuff like that, because I might have a live video one night. If you got something to do, go do it. You can always catch this stuff up later. Nothing I'm doing is so important that people need to stop their whole world to listen to some old man talk about his hobby. Yeah, as far as gold and silver, I don't see anything wrong with buying that stuff. I don't buy it because I wouldn't know how to spend it. I mean, how do you make change for it? I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I just can't give people advice on gold or silver or anything like that because I just don't know much about that kind of stuff. Well, you made it, Washburn, so don't feel bad, buddy. Hey, you have a good night, Becoming Dangerous. Thank you for stopping in. Alright, folks, I've been on here a little over an hour now, so probably in about 5 minutes I'm going to drop off of here. I said that 15, 20 minutes ago. But, like I said, I kind of want to, once a month, try and do a Q&A, because like I said, YouTube removes comments for whatever reason. I miss them sometimes, and I figured this is just a good way for all of us to communicate. You can tell me what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you like, what you don't like. Ask me questions, I'll try and answer them the best I can. And it just seems easier than I read a comment, try and put out a little short video on it, and then if I didn't understand the comment, I might not even be giving you the answer that you wanted. I might be giving you the wrong answer because I think you were talking about something else or whatever. So for me, it's easier if I can read your comment. Like one guy asked, Eric asked about a gun or a rifle, and I was like, well, which rifle? Because he was able to answer me in the comments, I was able to tell him about that rifle. But it had not been alive where I could see the comment, read the comment, and then he could post right away the response. I don't know which one. So for me, it seems like because I don't normally do lives, it seems like this would be a good thing to do once a month for answering questions and explaining things and stuff like that. Washburn for water purification. I have the water purification tablets. The wife bought a filter system, but even with all that, I would boil water first. I have a shallow well, plus we haul our water in because the deeper wells are all contaminated from a gravel pit. And then there's plenty of creeks, streams, and stuff like that around me. I mean, water would never be a problem around me, but I would just boil it just to be safe. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, like I was saying, I grew up, you know, I was a little kid in the 70s, became a teenager in the early 80s. I grew up watching a lot of old westerns and that. So for me, I think that's the only way I can explain where my passion, my love for the old western firearms comes from. And I mean, I'll do a video on anything you guys want to see, but my favorites are going to be revolvers, and specifically Colt single action type revolvers are my all-time favorite, but revolvers in general, I grew up with Dirty Harry, with Charles Bronson movies, and The Godfather and all that stuff. And I mean, there was a lot of revolvers in movies when I was growing up. Now, granted, when I was a teenager and got into even my early 20s, you had Rambo, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had, well, Sylvester Stallone as Rambo, Arnold Schwarzenegger played in all these action movies. You had Chuck Norris and Uzis and MAC-10s and machine guns and semi-automatic pistols, and that really took off in the movies, Lethal Weapon and stuff. But my first introduction to firearms, and even in the movies, were my grandfather had a lever action 30-30 Marlin, and most of my family had either Winchester or Marlin lever actions, most of them 30-30. I grew up around lever actions. There wasn't a whole lot of handguns in my family, but nobody in my family was ever really wealthy when I was growing up. So everybody had a shotgun and a rifle, and a few here and there had handguns, but for the most part it was shotguns and rifles. The shotguns were almost always either a pump or a side-by-side double barrel. And then now almost everybody had a lever action rifle, and that's just what I grew up with. I grew up with the cowboy movies, so I think if I was born in a later time like my kids, um, my interest might have been totally different because I'd have grown up with something totally different. Thank you, Washburn. Yep, I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about it too, Squeaky Cooler. I grew up watching these old westerns with my dad and my grandfather and that, and so for me, it just, doing these cowboy videos and stuff like that just brings back a lot of fond memories of watching the Duke, John Wayne, Spincock, and True Grit off horseback, watching that movie with my dad the first time I ever seen it. So when I was able to learn how to do Spincock, and that just brought back happy memories for me. Or watching um, Wanted Dead or Alive with Steve McQueen with my dad when I was a kid. I mean, them were reruns when I was a kid, but I mean, that's what I grew up watching. And that's why I do the stuff I do, is just, especially now that my dad's gone, it just brings back a lot of good memories. All right, folks, I want to thank everybody that came on. I really appreciate y'all. if you guys like this, the whole Q&A thing, um, let me know in the comments, and we'll try and do this once a month. If you guys don't want to hear me talk this much, tell me that in the comments too, you know. But thank you, everybody. I hope everybody has a great night, and I'll see you on the flip side.